sun's creeping in, don't get out of bed. Just roll on back over and lay down your head. Spend the day, spend the night, spend the rest of your life with you. Oh, oh, and don't let a thought even worry all night. Let tomorrow be tomorrow, tonight be tonight. If you're thinking you should get up and roll on back home. Baby, don't do. Baby, don't. Don't say a word. Ooh, I've already heard what your lips have to say. See if you're thinking about leaving when the morning comes on. Do whatever you're doing now. Baby, don't. When the sun's creeping in, don't get out of bed. Just roll on back over and lay down your head. Spend the day, spend the night, spend the rest of your life with you. Oh, don't let a thought even worry your mind. Let tomorrow be tomorrow, tonight be tonight. If you're thinking you should get up, and go on back home. Baby, don't. Baby, don't. Baby, don't. Don't let a thought even worry your mind. Let tomorrow be tomorrow, tonight be tonight. Don't let a thought even worry your mind. Let tomorrow be tomorrow, tonight be tonight. If you're thinking you should get up and go on back home. Baby, don't. Baby, don't. Baby, don't.
Nice song.
Yes.
What made you switch from the pop grunge or to the
Oh, well, I'm from Mississippi. I
Yeah.
grew up in Corinth, Mississippi. So country, I mean,
Was
I grew up going to Nashville. I live 3 hours away,
Sure.
so I'm not out of my element.
No.
The song that we, Saving Abel when Addicted, when it came out, it landed like right there in rock and roll. So from that moment on,
But it was actually
everything
a
was
Christian song.
sort of like had to follow in that footsteps.
Okay.
But I sort of look at Saving Abel as more of a, I don't know, like a Leonard Skinner, like a Southern rock type, a country band with more distortion. I mean, most of the songs were driven around that kind of sound.
Sure. Was it hard taking that step to go solo?
Yeah, that was a game changer for me. I mean, I took all the money, when I was singing for Hinder, I took all that money and ended up moving to Nashville. It took me a while to get back into the process.
Okay.
Personally, I took some time for myself to be with my wife and 3 kids. And my wife had a couple surgeries. Thank God I had the time off,
Sure.
I wrote that song with a guy named Mark Nessler, and he's written 100 million other tunes for many, many famous people. But it was another fella there with him, and I can't remember his name to save my life, but he's also another pretty accomplished writer. He had big hits too. And that song right there was the first time I wrote with those guys down on Music Row. And I sat down and we're like, hey, and usually when you walk into a room with new people that you're writing with, there's a little, you got to figure out how to do it. You got to figure out how am I going to work with these people. I had someone tell me basically a songwriting book, when you get together to write a song, it's like going all the way on the first date. You have to, because you've got to get it done while you're there. So I always like to walk in a room and like tell a fart joke or whatever. And if the people laugh, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be easy. Like easy, like to get along with the people.
Right.
So we sat down and they laughed at my fart joke, and we wrote that song in 15 minutes.
Wow.
15 minutes. Sometimes they work that way. Some of them you keep for years. I've got 10 right now. I'm still working on from years ago.
Yeah, but when they do come, typically they still come. They happen fast.
Right.
It's a lot of times you'll keep an idea there forever, and you may toss it out in different rooms.
You fight it
just
line for
doesn't-
line in your head until you.
But as far as like the actual writing process of it, I typically find if it takes me a long time to do it, I'll forget about the song. My best songs pretty much fall out with. I mean,
Something
yeah, a
inspired
couple.
it.
I mean, I've had those 15-minute things, but typically it's 2 or 3 hours though that you're in a room.
We went and ate lunch. Right was at 11, and we was eating barbecue by 12:30. I was like, is this what it's like to write with like professionals? It's when I first got to Nashville and started learning, like, you book rights with these people and then you drive to write with them. Go to their house or whatever workplace of business. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Because the only time I've ever written was with Saving Abel. It was just me and Jason sitting in a room with Skid writing. That's
Sure.
it.
Sure.
Yep. Slam of the door, walking away. Silence that comes when there's nothing to see. The answers you want, they don't exist. Man, if your dreams only me at my best. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Damn woman, what do you want? I pray you cool, you want it harder. So I've walked through fire and I've walked on water. Here you are looking at me with those innocent eyes. And I realize I'll be a fool anytime. The way we exist between lovers and foes. The higher the highs and the lower the lows. Maybe that's life, maybe it's not. Maybe we're perfect or maybe we're lost. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Damn woman, what do you want? I play cool, you want it harder. So I've walked through fire and I've walked on water. Yeah, here you are looking at me with those innocent eyes. And I realize I'll be a fool anytime. I need to know if this storm we're in will break us apart or teach us to bend. The reasons to stay may seem crazy, I know. Always one step ahead of the reasons to go. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Damn woman, what do you want? And I play cool, you want it harder. So I've walked through fire, and I've walked on water. Here you are looking at me with those innocent eyes. And I realize I'll be a fool anytime. You needed me too. Just need me to. The greener the grass, the harder to find. You want it all, better give you time. The mountains we move, the hills that we climb, brought us through valleys that tie us and bind. Yeah, here you are looking at me with those innocent eyes. I realize I'll be a fool anytime.
Now go make me a sandwich.
So that song, I know when he said to tell the story behind it, pretty much every song I think either one of us write has a pretty in-depth story to our life or meaning or purpose. But that one I wanted to play because it's a little different angle than most. So I just had a fight with my wife, and I went over to my buddy's house, and we were gonna write this song, and I was like, dude, I'm about to write the angriest love song ever.
I feel like you did a great job, like writing a song about like bitching about your wife and then going, "That's all right, I love you."
And he was like, "Dude, me too." And we started talking about the arguments that we had just had, and it was basically the same argument that both of us had with our wives. And so we write the song, and after we wrote it, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, because like, if she hears it, she's gonna know.
She's gonna be pissed.
Like there's gonna be like there's little lines all through it that she's gonna pick up on. And so I came home, and I kind of do this with my wife sometimes. I kind of casually just start singing something I'm either thinking about writing or that I've written around the house to see if it grabs her attention or not. And, either she's like, "What's that?" or she's like, "Hey, what's that?" And I kind of gauge if I should finish writing this or not based off of her reaction.
Sure.
And anyway, so I was doing that, and she goes, "That's pretty." I don't think she could hear the words I was saying. I was just kind of mumbling it in the bathroom there, and she's like, "That's pretty." And I was like, "Cool." And so I decided to record it.
So are you, babe?
And I didn't tell her that she hadn't heard the song and didn't know anything about it. But she knew that I was going to the recording studio. And she calls me, and she was like, "Hey, I'm in town meeting with my partner for some stuff, so I was going to stop by the studio afterwards." And she hasn't been by the studio in like 7 years. And I was like, "Cool."
The day you decide to record it.
Yeah. And I was like, cool. I was like, "When will you be here?" And she was like, "Probably about an hour."
Cool.
And I took a look back at what was the line of everything that we were doing that day, and I realized I'm going to be in the middle of recording that song when she walks in. And, a song that she didn't know existed, that was about an argument that we had where I was going in and spending our money to record it. I thought, this may not go so well.
Right.
And she walks in, and I'm in the middle of singing it. And she walks in, she sits down on the couch, and I can see her through the glass there in the studio, and I see that look on her face, and I immediately just look away and finish up the song. And I walked in, and there was just silence in the room. She looks up, and she goes...
So after the divorce...
She looked up, and she goes, "Yeah, I see what you did there." And I was like, "Uh-huh." She goes, "Good song." And I was like, "What's your favorite part?" And she was like, "Honestly, it was the damn woman, what do you want?" And I was like, "I did it." We pulled it off because we were worried about that line. And I really dig writing songs that are very personal to my life. We occasionally write those goofy love songs, but not very often. I think both of us lean toward writing reality. Of what
in the
actually goes
moment
on.
of things is really good.
Yeah,
That's what I like
loving
about songs.
someone through a fight that's real love to me.
Shit, loving someone through putting together a bunk bed. I could have swore we were going to get divorced. We made it through.
I think you're the comic relief of this duo, aren't you?
You haven't met Vinny yet.
Oh no, jeez. He's a 300-pound dude with
We gotta
overalls and
advertise,
does the
hold
splits
on.
and the worm.
There you go. So tonight, when Chad's guests are here, what do you want these people to enjoy tonight? I guess. What do you want? What kind of a show or what?
Man, I don't think we know.
We don't really choreograph
Okay.
these kind of things. We sort of play the vibe off of, we read the room.
Okay.
But the room changes too.
The room
because,
does change.
He could pull out a song that either I've never heard before, or for some reason it just grabs the room different. There's
And
a little
puts him in a
emotion.
different mood.
Yeah,
and
it
next
puts me in a
thing you
different
know-
spot.
Okay.
So the show could very much wind up being a very comical, fun night,
good time.
or it could walk right into the depths of, the craziest,
If
darkest
Vinny was
things
here,
we've ever written.
we'd probably sing church songs.
I mean, Vinny, he'll whip out Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell. What am I even saying?
When you wiggle in the morning. Oh, yeah. Silent Night.
He's done Silent Night.
Oh, shoot.
But
so
that's
obviously,
what I like about our chemistry, though. We really play off each other really well.
I can tell that.
We confront a lot of the problems and issues we have outside of, this, like on stage up there with each other.
Yeah.
Do you like these more intimate shows, or
I do, personally.
do you, rather than the big arenas and all that good
The
stuff?
big arena
Everything
stuff.
is fun, but the bigger the stage is, the further people are away.
Okay.
And so it's a weird spot as well. I mean, that's what you always think that you want. Mm-hmm. And every time I've been in a position where there were that many people, it just felt like you're just a bunch of lights out there. Like would you agree with that? You obviously had that experience a lot more than me, but.
Yeah, I mean, as you were talking, I was going over some of that stuff in my head. I was just like, man, those Nickelback nights, like every night, 15, 20,000 people playing in front of them. And then when the night ends up, there was 35 or 40,000 there. And just going to the merch tables alone, like just the amount of people, like, took my breath away. Me, because I don't do well in social situations. I mean, like, it literally almost gave me panic attacks.
Yeah. I bet.
I used to tell people I'm not used to it. I still do. I'm fine on stage. But you put me in the middle of a crowd, I get a little
Uncomfortable, yeah.
You went somewhere with it.
Well, one last question. What have you been
with
doing in Brandon since you've been here a day? And what's your thoughts about Brandon?
Well, I've been riding around in a Maserati. Been riding around in a Corvette.
We took off in that Corvette, and he was like, hey, 10 minutes down the road, he goes, hey, where are we going? I was like,
We ended up in Minnesota, y'all. Yeah.
It's only 5 miles away.
Oh, yeah. I was like, dude, we're already in another state.
He's like, how fast are you going? No. Which, by
I've
the
had
way,
some good food since we've been here.
See you.
I've also changed my guitar strings.
Okay.
I've hurt my thumb. I don't know what I've done to it. I adopted a dog. Well, I sort of just named him. It's Charlie. He's behind the gas station around the trash bin back there. We shared a soft pretzel this morning.
Did you? Oh, that was sweet.
None of that's true.
Are they sure?
I'm going to go check if there's a dog behind the dumpster now. Make sure I didn't dream this.